Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching my videos. This time, I've put together a guide on strategy and sideboarding when using the Painter build against Reanimator. If you haven't watched the deck explanation part 3 video, it provides an explanation of this build. I've included a link at the end of this video and in the description, so feel free to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. I'm releasing recordings taken during testing, so there may be slight differences from the deck list in the deck tech video. I'll keep this hand since it looks like I can go all in early. I'll start with Ponder, and if I reveal Mana Acceleration, I'll go all in right away. If I reveal a land and a discard spell together, it might allow me to combo off safely. I stacked Boseiju, Who Endures, Duress, and Misty Rainforest in that order, then drew. I'll use a discard spell to scout ahead. I took out Force of Will. I'm going all in. From here, I'll generate additional mana needed for the combo. As for when to stop with Ad Nauseam, with Beseech the Mirror, if your storm count is high, reaching 4 mana and having 1 life to pay for the bargain cost will secure the win. I'll accelerate my mana while building up the storm count. With the storm count high enough, I'll cast Tendrils of Agony. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. To explain why ANT struggles against Reanimator, let's start by briefly reviewing Reanimator's game plan. The basic game plan for Reanimator is 1. Put a creature into the graveyard. Then, 2. Reanimate the creature from the graveyard. This 2-step combo forms their main strategy. In response, since our win condition relies on storm spells, we need to cast a series of spells consecutively to build up the storm count. Additionally, our main disruption consists of 1. Discard spells, 2. Veil of Summer, and 3. Vexing Bauble. These 3 are typically our primary forms of disruption. This means that once they've managed to get a creature into the graveyard, if they top deck a reanimation spell, we have no way to stop it. To summarize, the opponent's 2-card combo allows them to split their combo across 2 steps. Additionally, once a creature is in their graveyard, our basic disruption tools cannot effectively deal with it. These 2 points are our main concerns. Now, let's move on to the explanation of the Painter build. As we discussed earlier, aiming for victory with only storm spells presents the problem that we can't split up the combo into multiple steps. With the Painter build, after casting Dark Ritual, you can deploy and set up the Painter package in advance. After deploying the Painter package, if mana is still insufficient, you can continue on the following turn by casting mana acceleration spells like Cabal Ritual, allowing you to split the combo into 2 steps and achieve victory. Additionally, if you play Painter's Servant early and name black as the chosen color, you can nullify the effect of Consign to Memory that counters colorless spells if your opponent draws it later. If removal is aimed at a preemptively played Painter's Servant, you can respond with Veil of Summer to protect it. Additionally, since the Painter combo relies on an activated ability, it can bypass the triggered counter effect of Consign to Memory. However, the Painter build does have its weaknesses. If the opponent has Entomb and sends Archon of Cruelty to the graveyard and reanimates it, Veil of Summer can provide temporary protection, but Painter's Servant will still be dealt with. Alright, let's get into the main topic. These are the key cards in Reanimator that are relevant for ANT. First, there are graveyard hate cards such as Dothy Voidwalker, Surgical Extraction, Unlicensed Hearse, and against the triggered ability of Consign to Memory that counters spells. We'll bring in the Painter package. For sideboarding, start with the core cards mentioned in the deck explanation video. As for the remaining cards, Considering the current Reanimator sideboard strategy, Boseiju, who endures is a suitable choice. Next, there are various counters like Daze, Force of Will, Force of Negation, and Consign to Memory. To counter these, use a combination of discard spells, Veil of Summer, and Vexing Bauble. Next, against the opponent's Thoughtseize, we'll use Veil of Summer to counter it. It's a bit weak, but since I have draw sources, lands, and some disruption, I'll keep. I'll assess the positioning relative to my opponent. I took out Force of Will. Since the opponent's Psychic Frog seems likely to land early, and I can't make optimal use of Brainstorm right now, I prioritized advancing my board state. It looks like my opponent misclicked at the end. I often forget to search with the Surveil land myself. I stacked 2 copies of Painter's Servant. I'm locked out by Brainstorm, so I'll cast Ponder off Lotus Petal to dig for a land. I stacked Painter's Servant, Brainstorm, and Volcanic Island in that order, then drew. By deploying multiple Painter's Servants, you can withstand a reanimated Archon of Cruelty at least once. I'll search for Grindstone. I stacked Painter's Servant on top of Dark Ritual. I'll assess my positioning relative to the opponent. Since it looks like Psychic Frog is about to send Atraxa, Grand Unifier to the graveyard, I removed Reanimate. I'll go searching for Grindstone. The Surveil effect keeps the card on top of the library. I'll start making my move from here. I'll use Veil of Summer in response to their counterspell. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the frequent play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. This has been Antya.